one of the things that's trending right now is this if it's worth it having kids because women are having an honest conversation about if it's worth it to have children. I'm gonna just play this real quick just because I want to get y'all opinion.
And ask all the moms if children are worth it. I'm going to give you a short and quick answer. The answer is no.
No.
Now, before you mom crusaders come up in here trying to come up for me, please understand that I am not Beyonce and I do like to cuss. But also, let me explain. Okay, the thing about it is, children will be the greatest love you've ever known, experienced. Oh my gosh, it's like nothing you can even explain, right? But with every high, there is an opposite and equal challenge to go with it. And if you want
So I'm gonna just leave it right there. I'm gonna just leave that right there. The question is, are children honestly worth it?
No.
Why is that?
You lose everything, bro. If you're doing it right, I ain't talking about you have they parents. If you doing it right, bro, you ain't doing nothing for yourself. Lack of time, lack of yo man, everything, bro. Everything takes a huge decrease when you have children, bro. Everything.
Hmm.
Y'all can tell me about all these precious moments with the kids, but for every one of those is 5 moments where you would regretted it all. You just ain't gonna see it.
Carrie, I would love to get your thoughts, and then Mika.
Children are absolutely worth it.
Now,
I'm
Carrie, are you saying this because you have children, and that means that your inability to be objective, um, or do you just truly feel like children are worth it, and why?
I think I could say it with more conviction because I'm actually a mom. I would like to think that I would think the same way. But I mean, I don't know. I know how I thought before I had kids, but I wanted to have them. So even then you could argue that I'm, partial. But
Mm.
I think that they're absolutely worth it. I think it's a love that you'll never experience in any other way. And I think that it allows you to have an impact in no other way that you can have an impact. Like you are pouring into human beings on this earth. To me, that's a huge impact.
Let me ask you a different question. Let me rephrase the question because I understand that you got a lot of kids, and so
That sounds so bad.
no, I
Damn,
mean,
man, son.
no. I don't because I don't want to make this
Yeah,
personal.
you got them kids. You got them kids. So
I don't want to make it personal. I want to completely remove your own personal experiences. You can lean on your personal experiences to substantiate your answer, but I don't want it to be about you. All right.
okay.
I'm gonna rephrase the question. If you're talking to somebody else, a girl, and she say, "You know what? I don't know if I want to have kids or not. I don't know if it's gonna ruin my life or not." How do you have that conversation with her? What do you tell her as far as whether or not it's worth it or not? Would you tell her it's worth it to have children or not?
Um, I would probably ask her questions before I told her, like my opinion. So the biggest thing I would want to know is, well, what do you want? Like what do you want your life to be? And her answer to that would help me to, direct what I'm saying to her, because the flip side is it's hard. And to the girl's point, that's why I want to hear her explanation, because she's right. Like there are moments when it's kind of like Chris Rock said, I'm not saying he should have killed her, but I understand. Like I understand you being like, yo, these kids. So there are certain people who can't handle that and they should not have the children. And if this young lady is one of those people, then I'm not, and I feel like that from her conversation, I'm not going to be like, go have kids. So it would depend on what she says.
Man, all that love and the raise, and y'all can get that with a pet.
No, you can't.
If you get a pet pit bull, it's the same love that you will love a child with. I'm telling you right now, cuz if you don't got kids, save yourself. Now, do I regret the little motherfucker? Nah, I'm here for them. We gonna rock out. They here. But cuz, I'm telling you right now, given the opportunity to go back, I'm pulling out a half an inch sooner, cuz like I ain't gonna lie, cuz like it's it, man, it's so time consuming. It's so energy, like it's a
Well, let
lot,
me
bro.
ask it again. Let me ask it differently because I know we're 2K saying on this. I want to ask Carrie one more thing, and then we can go popcorn style. Say whatever y'all want to say. If you had to do it all over again, would you do it the exact same way that you did it before?
It don't matter how you
Yeah,
do it.
yeah, I would. I
Okay,
would.
that's cool. That's cool.
I ain't gonna lie, I would because I know the little niggas now. But before I want to slide down the wall.
Or I'm sorry, not if you had to go back again. Um, this is hard to frame. All right, let me frame it like this. Because it's difficult to frame if you say, well, would you do it again? You can't really say that with kids that you already got because you already know them, right? Let me frame it like this. If you had to do a part two, let's say you raise them and then you could do like another one to where you could have the exact same experiences by doing it again. Would you do it again?
Fuck no. The only way I do it again is if I was having them at like 14, so my mama could take care of her for half of their life while I get my shit together. But that's who really be winning, and we don't talk about that enough. We shame them 14-year-olds that get pregnant, but for half of your life, your mama raising them kids. Dog, you get them on the back half. Well, it's cool.
No, no, not for well. Like I
It's
said,
Well,
I don't want it to be
low
personal.
key, 2K is telling the truth because all the moms who had kids younger, nigga, age what 35, they out, and we just had a kid last month.
yeah.
We got money and we could rock out.
All
Yeah,
my
And we got these
homeboy
niggas
kids are
graduating and
grown right
shit.
now.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you can do it again, not redo it, you keep the
Oh,
same kids you got, and then you would do it another for however many, do the same thing again. Would you do it again? Is what I'm saying.
dude, that's why I got fixed twice. No,
If I could have the same kids, I probably wouldn't have as big of a gap between my first two and my second two. That probably be what I would change.
Yeah.
But other than that,
So you would kind of sort of fill a woman out, but your general sentiment to women is have kids.
yeah. If again, with
We
all of
already
my
know,
context.
Gary, you
Okay.
don't have to preface
Okay.
it.
But yes, that would be it.
Anybody else?
Slimmy.
I don't have no damn kids. Shit.
Slimmy, it's
Exactly.
not about you personally. We just talking about in general. Speak to people in general.
No, I know. But yeah, I think it's worth it. Yeah. I think it absolutely is.
It's not, bro. Christmas was just yesterday.
I think
I
it I
bought so much stuff. I didn't get
no,
nothing.
you thinking about it from that I guess the monetary point of view.
No, that's for
Uh,
everything.
but if you think about it from the spiritual point of view and actually indulging in fatherhood and parenting, I think you looking at it the wrong
The
way.
money matters. The money matters
What are you
big.
talking about? The spirit. What
I think
spirit
that the
is
money
this?
matters more than anything. Honest to God, and I'm just giving like honest, real talk. The true cost of having a kid, and I ain't even just talking about raising it. I'm talking about extracurricular activities. If you want to have a good kid, a well-rounded kid, it take everything. I mean, everything. And if you want to give up your life, basically, and give up anything that comes along with it in order to dedicate yourself to that kid, then go ahead and have it. If you're not willing to give up your life for it, like everything that your dreams or what you feel like makes the most sense or whatever, or your money or buying what you want or whatever, if you're not willing to put your life on hold for the next 25 years, 26 years, I ain't talking about 18, I'm talking about 25, 26 years. If you're not willing to put everything on hold for that amount of time, don't do it.
Bro,
Don't do it. Don't
it's
do it.
one of
I
the
agree with
rare
that.
it's one of the rare investments where you can spend time and money and it still not be enough.
That's
I
correct. I agree.
I just gave my daughter
So
$400 for a field trip, and then I got the chaperone it. So I'm gonna lose money and time.
That's a fact.
And
And
that
you're
will be
doing it.
enough.
You're doing it because because it makes you feel good. To be honest with you,
Facts. It do.
it's
It do.
not an investment.
I was about to
Kids
say,
are not an investment.
I
I
was about
want
to
to
say
be
it's not an
very clear
investment.
to people.
It's a responsibility.
Correct, but kids are not an investment.
Yeah,
First, I do not think that people should have kids so those kids can grow up to take care of them. I
You
think that
would
that's
not
selfish as
you
hell.
would not get your
yeah.
return back.
That's what I was about to say. That I
And
think
secondly,
looking
it
at
ain't
it,
no guarantee that they're gonna
damn.
actually turn out to be good kids. So your kid could be a fucking serial killer, be Luigi Mascioni, whatever his name was, that killed the United Healthcare CEO, and you can give him everything. All right, that's number two. And then again, number three, the financial cost that comes with it is egregious. It is egregious. And again, I'm talking about a well-rounded kid, tutoring, clothes, extracurricular activities, funding, support for those extracurricular activities. If you want to try, a lot of kids that wind up becoming successful are not the ones that come from the hood. If y'all want to read a book, it's a book called Outliers, right? And Outliers breaks down that certain people are intentional about what time of the year that they have their kids because that gives their kids an advantage over other kids, depending on how old they are and when they can get into certain programs or when they can get into certain schools or when they can get into certain um, training facilities and all of that stuff. What time of the year that your kid is born matters. Like the amount of resources that you can give your kid as far as training them up and putting them in certain positions and all of that stuff, all of that, all of it, every last one of them is if it factors in. It's going to take a mental impact on you. It's going to take all of that. And so
Yeah.
if you are not basically willing to give your children everything and put everything on a hold for your kid to be able to be the best version of themselves, then I would say don't do it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, like the minute my daughter starts showing signs of holder, I'm out their life. Like,
Jesus
cause
Christ.
it no, seriously, what purpose do it do to be in your kid's life and they still be a hoe? Like I'm in their life for they can have boosted percentages. Like I know right
Okay, he
now,
might be trolling now.
no, I'm super serious. You can ask my wife. I'm in my son's life right now because I know he gonna be better than 50% of y'all kids because y'all not together. But if I were to leave, that'd be selfish on my part. So I'm literally here for my kids to have the best percentages. So if I
You're
found out
so
my daughter
crazy.
was a hoe, why am I here?
He's so crazy.
Like, I'm,
So crazy.
I'm just
But
hard line.
but
I'm
there
just hard
is
line.
there is a movement online of women that are basically saying, listen, we don't want to have kids and we happy that we never had them.
I wouldn't
I'm cool with that.
I wouldn't tell any of these women to have children.
That's dope. Why would you tell them? What would your recommendation be, Mika?
Don't have any. I really don't like the way modern women are at all.
So you saying that culturally they don't raise their children the right way, and that's one of the reasons
Culturally,
why.
they don't raise them at all.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
So my recommendation would be stay childless.
I don't know why though, because the crazy thing about it, the way Mika raises her kids affects my kids. So if
What do you
you
mean? So you saying basically the way that somebody raised their kids uh, affects your kids. So
absolutely,
society, from a societal perspective, we're all interconnected, and that when you
Mhm.
see some kids are toxic, that then affects how it is that your kids gonna be impacted.
6 degrees of
yeah.
separation.
Because no matter how good you raise them, they still at school for 8 hours a day.
That's true. That is true.
You know what I'm saying? So
See that
like,
this is why it's so fucked up to talk to 2K because see, you don't know when he's gonna say something that makes sense or something that just absolutely throws you for a loop and say, "Well, my kid is a hoe" or something. Like I don't know what the fuck 2K be on.
I be so serious, bro. I don't understand. Why do y'all think y'all kids not gonna be hoes too? Like
Jesus
honestly,
Christ.
that's a real question. Why do you think? Like, how many hoes do you know? Why do you think my kids or your kids are subject or subjected from not being a hoe? I'm just real about it.
I really
Everybody
don't know
can't
that many
be.
hoes.
Everybody can't be a nurse. Somebody got to slide down the pole. Y'all just don't want to look at it because they y'all kids. My kids don't know.
But the other thing is, a lot of people they definitely don't think it's sort of similar to what you're saying. If they do want children, they think it's going to be a carbon copy.
He go my future
Hi,
next
sweetie
murderer or
pie.
football player. I don't know what this nigga gonna be. You gonna kill people or you gonna run them over?
Jesus,
Bricks.
2K, you can't do that.
You
On white
can.
bricks.
His name Bricks. He already got a drug dealer name. I kind of failed him with that. So we gonna have to make it up. I don't know, but whatever.
I pray you are not really like that with them in real
I
life.
pray
Like,
my
I pray that this is really not your MO on a day-to-day basis with those kids. I pray.
you don't got to pray. My kids
They
gonna
love
run your
him though.
kids.
They love him. I didn't
I mean
see
that
it.
in the most
My kids gonna
respectable,
run your kids
respectful
home.
way I possibly can. But like, I'm assuming this is for real. Like, all right, we're adults talking over here. I'm not really like that. I don't think you are. I don't think you are. I'm
That,
just
and
saying I pray you're not.
no, that's why I feel confident with sending my kids to school with people who don't look at the world for what it is. I know they're gonna crush y'all kids because y'all over here sending them Disney movies and fairy tales. My kids gonna know the real. When somebody asks your kids, "Hey, I got some candy. Want to come to the van?" My kids gonna be like, "Why we gotta go to the van to get the candy?" Because I'm getting them ready for the real world. Y'all getting them ready for how the world should be.
You
So
are insane, bro.
okay,
You are literally
okay.
insane. You insane, man. Because I'm gonna just tell you, some kids don't have to walk home by themselves and get in the vans.
And what's interesting is
Some
that
kid,
the sentiment
some
of
kid.
what people are. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Carrie.
No, I'm just saying the sentiment of what a lot of people are saying in the chat is that I'm being like dramatic and extra and all of that. And that's, I would say all of those people don't have kids. All of those people who had something to say about that don't have kids
I
because,
got a different. I got a completely different sentiment.
okay.
I think that that's a hood mentality, and the reason that I think that that's a hood mentality is because even though a lot of times we not in the hood no more and our kids are nowhere near and shouldn't be even close to the things that we grew up like and subjected to the things that we seen, we still take that same mentality with us. And so what happens a lot of times is we use that as examples that's not even reflective of the environment that our kids are raised in because we weren't supposed to be raised in those environments. There are people every single day that don't have to think about the bullshit that we thought about, but we continue to project that trauma onto them because that's the things that we experienced when we was growing up.
A
Your
vicious
kids are not
cycle.
our kids are not supposed to go through some of the shit that we went through.
I'm not. See, that's where you wrong. I'm not teaching them that. I'm prepping them. The world is crazy. 2K is crazy.
Well, I think men children and male children and female children are supposed to be raised two different ways,
I
right?
agree with that.
Because if you give a male child everything in the world, and then that male child gives his child everything in the world, and you never really teach them certain certain male responsibilities, then you make a bunch of soft soy boys.
I agree.
But with women is different, right? So you have to keep a sense of some type of masculinity with boys. So I kind of understand what 2K is
Yeah, but
saying.
you still
I don't think it's
allow
got to
for them
be
to
hood. I don't think it's that hood stuff, but I do understand the sense of having to teach having to give boys a sense of responsibility, a sense of something other than giving them everything you never had.
You got that from
correct,
what 2K just said?
but you're
Yeah,
I
you're
don't know
that
how
supposed
you get it.
I
you're
ain't getting
supposed
none of
to
that.
are
allow for them to you're supposed to allow for them to feel and control environments. Okay, so I'll give you an example.
I'm the 2K whisperer.
We grew up, well, at least
Oh, that's what he meant. Okay.
over in Detroit, we grew up differently, right? So a lot of us, I remember when I went to high school, it wasn't uncommon to see drug needles on the ground. It wasn't uncommon to run into crackheads or to see some of the wildest shit that we ever seen in our lives. Just walking back and forth to school. That was not uncommon. Cass corridor, homelessness rampant, dope fiends everywhere, seeing people shoot up in the alley and stuff like that. Yeah, that was not uncommon. Now, the world is still crazy, but people are still putting their kids and breeding them to not have to subject themselves to some of the bullshit that they see every single day. Your kids were never supposed to grow up and see dope fiends shooting up dope right there on the middle of the street. That's not normal. That is not normal. And so, what I'm saying is, a lot of times we project our trauma that we grew up with onto our children and say, yeah, you got to have street common sense and you got to have, no, you don't fucking have to have street common sense. You don't ever have to be subjected to the streets.
It's
You
not
never
even-
have to experience some of the stuff that we're supposed to make the environment better. Now, it doesn't mean that they can't get the lessons, but it also means that you're still supposed to train them up differently and put them in a position to where they never have to experience some of the stuff that you experience, while at the same time getting to learn lessons that you got, but not having to suffer through it. They gonna have their own
I
lessons.
agree.
It's people that grow up and their children are bred to run the family companies. There children that grew up and they have a greater responsibility than you probably ever will have with the shit that you went through, but they were groomed for success. They were groomed to take over the family business. They were groomed, you know what I'm saying, for some of the greatest things and for some of the greatest feats of all time. They weren't groomed to be in the streets talking about getting no fucking street sense. They don't give a fuck about no street sense.
Yeah, they go to martial
No,
arts.
I